Okay, so we're recording. Okay, so I kind of got this, well, I got this training from our team logo thing. We don't have a team logo, but our team name is not on these. This is from Abby Jimenez, because she put this on these. So that's why it says Team Fit Force. So if anybody else who's watching the recording wants these copies, I have them. We talk about the leadership ladder, but I don't think we talk about it enough. And if you log into your Coach Online office, you guys can see what your next rung on the leadership ladder is. So at this point, we're going to be focusing on business starter. And what business starter basically means is that you've hit Success Club, and we'll kind of go into that a little later. But so that's the main focus. You guys are going to want to focus on the business starter. And I think why they designed this training is because there was kind of a gap. So like you hit Success Club, or you don't have Success Club. So you say you get 2 Success Club points. I think sometimes we think that like you're unsuccessful if you don't hit Success Club. Like you just feel like a failure. You question what you're doing or how you're doing it, or what am I doing wrong? Am I ever going to make it or grow or whatever? And sometimes there's this gap, I think, where sometimes we know, okay, we're not working the business enough. We're not doing the business daily activities that are going to grow our business. And so I like this training a lot because it sort of gives you, instead of just thinking about rank or instead of just thinking about Success Club, it's going to like help you guys to do a checklist. And I know that we have the business activity tracker, and we have we have Go for No. We have all these things that we use to track. So like, it's not like we don't know what to do or your power hour. But I think it's focusing on those things that are going to build your business rather than doing things that like are unnecessary or wasting time, because we all waste time. And so the first sheet, here, let me just see what I have in my notes. So you kind of need clear stepping stones. I think that's what we need. And like I said, there's this gap between where you have a couple Success Club points and then you can't actually hit it. So we want to bridge the gap between those so that it's doable to hit it. So the first sheet I have for you guys is this, basically just like what each step as a coach is. So, and here's the sheet, and I will get this uploaded into our team page so you guys can either print it off or I'll get you guys a copy that couldn't be here. But the first thing is just forward progress in your fitness. So these are these are coaches who just want to work on themselves, maybe share on social media, are awesome in your challenge group. You do personal development. Like you just mainly focus on yourself, but sometimes you're like, maybe like you could consider yourself like a hobby coach, maybe. Maybe discount more, I don't know. So then you're going to pay it forward. That's the next step. And I like the fact, like, again, like you go up. So here you're inviting people to join your journey. That's the next, like, that's basically paying it forward. So it's about the same as a hobby discount coach, only you're getting, I mean, you might have one person involved. But you're obviously drinking your Shakeology, doing your personal development and pushing play. And those are just like musts for our business and for us, personally. So then the next thing is the business starter, which that's what you guys are going to focus on. And if you're already there, if you're already a business starter if you don't know, then you need to go to your Coach Online office. And then there's like that little box as soon as you log in. And that says, you guys know that, but that just has your Success Club stuff on there, and kind of you can compare last month. So like my next rung, I think, is team leader, because in order to get to team leader, I have to have 4 of my personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club. I think that's what this says on here. I'll have to look closer, but I think that's what it is. So whatever it is that you're reaching, you need to focus on that. What are you not doing right now that you could be doing in order to hit business starter? Or team builder. I think, right. Yeah. And I'm a team builder right now is where I currently am. And then as you go up and as you get some of your coaches to advance and stuff, that's when you're going to move up. So let's see. And then really it just keeps moving up. So business starter, you're getting 3 people involved because that's obviously Success Club. You're transitioning those successful challengers to be coaches. And then the team builder, you're actually adding mentorship to your coaches. So you're not an expert, you're just mentoring, and having kind of the heart to teach them from your mistakes, your growths, your struggles, and then working with the willing, helping your coaches get 1+ person involved. So that's kind of where I am with mine. And then team leader is just sharing the vision, which I think we all try to share our vision, and we talk about our vision a lot, but I don't know. I think in my vision, it's still the same, but even just recently, I was talking to Jessica about it, but I'm like, and I've shared with Carly, I think a little bit before, but just recently, I'm like, we camped this last weekend with my family, and it was so nice to be out there with my family, the whole weekend, and all my family's out that direction. And so I'm like, I just really want to build a house out by my family. And so I talked to my dad and so on. And so hopefully I'll be able to do that. But that kind of even gives me more of a vision now, not just quitting my job, but be able to build a house, a new house. Would be awesome. So whatever your vision is, but being able to share that vision with your Facebook friends and being able to share that with your team, and really every dream starts with a vision. So when you share that, that's when the people start to get interested. That's when they start to think wow, I could really quit my job, or I could really, pay for a vacation, or I could do these things that, I wouldn't have been able to do so many things so far without coaching. And then also team leader is hosting calls and trainings, and you're walking your coaches through the growth steps. So that's kind of that's basically the leadership ladder in a nutshell. And then if you go on to these checklists, so the business starter checklist is the one that's the next one. And again, I'm going to upload these so you guys have them. But this is what you need to focus on. And obviously you look at this and you're just yeah, duh. I know that I need to do these things. But when you're actually checking it off your list, and if you have a binder to put these in and you make, let's say you print off, they were recommending, print off 12, because that's 12 weeks that you're going to give this and you're going to do it. And then you can look back and you can say, okay, I'm not moving forward. I'm not hitting Success Club. Well, what is it on here that you're not doing? Because most likely, if you're doing all of these things, then you're going to hit it. You're going to get people involved and you're going to move your business forward. So they were saying, don't go and printing off 50 of these, because, hopefully you're going to just you're going to move on. So it's kind of nice to just be able to focus on these things and not be so focused on, they were recommending, they were saying it shouldn't take you longer than 10 minutes to do a Facebook post. And I'm guilty of that. If I'm really trying, because I'm I'm second guessing it, I'm wording it. Well, maybe I should, a lot of times when I do my post, I don't even know which direction I'm going. I take my picture and then I sometimes just roll with it. I start my post, and then sometimes I don't even know what direction I'm going to go, and it just happens and it works. And that's what I think we need to do. Just not second guess it, just post it, put it out there, and share your life, share your story. So that should be and to set a timer, and when you're doing your power hour, and I think we might run a call. I think next week when we do our call, I'm going to do this, and we're just going to do, literally, we're all going to do our power hour together. And I know we've ran live power hours before, but you guys already know what a power hour is. So we don't necessarily need to go through and say, okay, this is how I invite, and this is how I add people, and this is how I find people to add, and all these things. And that's okay to do with we need to do that with new coaches, but you guys are seasoned and you guys know what to do. So I think we might do that Monday. We might just do literally where I set a timer and it'll be 10, we'll do 5 minutes. Okay, send 2-3 invites or whatever, or 10 minutes or whatever it is. And I'll have it timed, because then you're focused and you're not looking at your notifications and you're not responding to someone's message. And then you're just laser focused. And if we could follow that and follow this checklist with a timer and being intentional with your time, I think we could just do a lot. Because I waste a lot of time sometimes. So pick, I want you guys to think about picking an area that you want to be in. So business starter is obviously, if you're not there, you need to get there. But what do you really want to be in? Think about the leadership ladder and the things that are on that first list. And, it talks about the rank and what you can make per month. So income goals, where would you want to be? And then you need to know your direction. You need to know where you're going with it. And that'll kind of lay out the stepping stones for you guys to decide what you're going to, where you're going to go with it. And then you're going to work on those areas, and then you're going to move on to the next, and then the next. So what you track what you track is going to grow. So whether you're tracking, like I track my volume, I pay attention to my volume because I'm building my weak leg. That's pretty much potentially what we're all going to do is we're all going to build our weak leg volume. That's where our residual income comes from. So that's what I track. So it's like, is my weak leg not going up? Why isn't my volume going up? So we need to track, like what you track grows. So figure that out, what it is. What is it that's not growing that you're wanting to grow, whether it's your Success Club points or your coaches are doing what they're not or what they are doing. So then of course your activities match where you want to be. If you want to be a team builder, let me see where I'm at. If you want to be a team builder, but you're not hitting Success Club, then go back to see where you are, and check your coach online office to see where you are. So really the key to this business is duplication. We talk about that all the time. And just making this easy so like hopefully we can pass this onto our team and we can make this easier rather than, because it's just nice to visualize it. I think it's nice to be able to see like, okay, here's where I am, or here's what I'm doing, or here's what I'm not doing, in an easy way, because some people are visual people. I can sit down and I can just work, and I could be more efficient if I would pay attention to this stuff, but I just will just sit down and get a mass amount of work done, but I could be more productive if I were to follow something I think like this. Just something super simple that you're not recreating the wheel. You're just using duplication to hopefully help like your team and your future team. So are you working your power hour every day? Does your power hour consist of actual business building activities, or are you wasting time? So race against the clock. If you race against the clock, you'll be successful, which is what we were talking about with setting a timer. And divide the power hour if you have to, like set a timer in the morning, do 30 minutes, and then do 30 minutes in the evening, or however you can do it. Because honestly, I think like really the biggest thing I think I see with our downline and with coaches in general is when our business isn't growing, we're either obviously not doing something that we need to be doing, or we're just not doing it at all. Like I think we're just not doing some of the activities that you need to. And it's just jumping out of your comfort zone, growing. And there's stuff right now I know I need to be doing more of that I think I could, if I could just go live more, if I could just stop overthinking like the topics, because I just really want to go live more. I think that's something that really gets people to like see you, but then I overthink like the topic instead of just going for it and just like saying how I feel that day, or not overthinking it. And I watch all these other coaches who go live all the time, and I'm like, man, that was just an easy topic. Like they didn't overthink it and they just did it. And so that's part of it. So if you do these checklists, you're going to finish the year with success. I'm not going to go through the others because like we already know, like just because you guys we don't really need to talk about the checklist because we're focusing on the one. There is a couple, just like with, if you were just like a discount coach strictly, or if you were just, you can see, the stuff you need to do for your personal like stuff. And then you can see what you need to do for your business. And the things I think we skip with our power hour, and the things that we dread that we don't want to do, are the things that are going to grow our business. And really it's all about the basics. So about the action and about really taking action. Just start, just do it, get out of your own head. And I know that's where I will feel, and I've said this a million times, but it's like one day you're feeling good about your business, and then the next day you're just like, oh, like I can't even think of a post, or I can't even like get motivated today to like invite people. And you will feel like you suck, or, but then you take action and share it. Like if you feel like you're doing bad that day, then take action and share that part of it, because that's part of your story. And really just being encouraged, I think, by the fact that, okay, if I would just do this, then I'm going to see a difference. I'm going to see a change. I don't know. I just think like for me, even this week, I've just been like a roller coaster of emotion. So I have let that get in the way of my business because I felt like I couldn't even function. So I think that's okay sometimes too, to just take a step back, because you have to take care of yourself. But then when I do feel good, I'm like, okay, I can jump back in this, and really nothing's lost. It's not like I'm or you guys, if you have a bad spot, I don't think it's like, you know, okay, you've just totally lost like all that you worked hard for if you take like a week or two off and just kind of off or something. But I think it's when we really take like really a lot of time off where you just literally don't do anything. And then I think you have to almost like restart sometimes and show people that you're serious about it. And I kind of want to branch really quick on what we were talking about earlier, just because the people that are watching the recording haven't heard this. But I was thinking a lot about just so many MLMs and so many, we talked about this last week, and about cold invites, and how I talked about those free groups being really nice because then you build relationships with people and then you don't feel like you're doing so many of those cold invites. And then I think that and maybe you don't, hopefully you guys don't question coaching, and hopefully you don't think, well, should I be doing this? Is this what I should be doing? But I think it's easy to sometimes just question what you're doing and wonder like, okay, is this where I should be? Or you see all these shiny objects like Lindsay Gray described in that video that I think I tried to share. Hopefully I did. Yeah, she put it, I did share it. But anyways, she did basically talked about a dip in MLMs. Do you guys remember that? Did you watch it? So she basically talked about how she doesn't think that Beachbody necessarily, that there's a dip in Beachbody. She feels like there's a dip with MLMs because there's so many MLMs that there's all these shiny objects and people don't know which way to go. So like they see someone selling something and then here we are coaching and we feel like our business is like the best business in the world, which I really do feel that way because it's about relationships and it's about working on yourself and it's about helping others and being happier and healthier and more confident and all these things. So we love it. But sometimes I still think we second guess. Or sometimes I know, you know, I've thought, okay, what am I doing? Or is this whatever it is that you doubt yourself? But I think if we can just remember, like, what drew you to coaching? So I just signed a new coach today, and she's probably going to be watching this recording. And, you know, she talked about anxiety, and I know a lot of us struggle with that because I've had this conversation with a lot of you guys, but it's like, I feel like that's not what drew her in, but I think it drew her in just the fact that like, okay, we all struggle and we're all like just constantly struggling basically, but we're all like working together to make a positive outcome, to help people, to share our story, to like influence others and inspire others. And really, I think that's why she signed up, because it is fun and like we have fun and we like it and we are constantly like working on ourselves. So I think it's important to like think about what drew you to coaching in the first place, and really what makes you proud to be a coach and what makes you proud to be like sending those messages, because it really is amazing to be able to offer somebody like something that is not a quick fix, like we discussed earlier, where you have to work for it and people don't want to do that all the time. But when and if we can get them to like wrap their brain around the fact that this is the right way to go and that this is something that's going to change their life, then they see it. And then that makes us, it's like a, you know, whatever, like domino effect. Like then that's a reward for us. And I think that's where, for me, that's huge for me. And for me, it's you guys. And for me, it's my vision. And for me, I could go on and how passionate and how much in love with the company and what they stand for is. But I think it's important just to like remember what it is that drew you in the first place and why you made this decision to really be in this business. And that kind of goes with the retention of Shakeology. I want to just kind of breeze into that really quick, just because this is just a couple things that were on my mind that I wanted to bring up that I thought maybe you guys would, and we can chat more about this in a while. But I think the retention of Shakeology is frustrating. And Jessica and I were talking about this yesterday and today, I think. And I mean, I have so many customers. I don't even know how many customers I've got started on Shakeology. And I would say, if I were just to guess, I don't even know the ratio, but I would say 1 in 10, probably, maybe 1 in 8, just depending, stay on Shakeology. And it sucks. And then you feel like it's your fault, or you feel frustrated because now your income's dropped a little and now you're maybe paying for your Shakeology because you couldn't get it free because they dropped and whatever. And so I think it's important to remember again, why did you pick Shakeology, and why do you think it's so important? Because again, I think there's going to always be something that's cheaper, or something that's like good enough, or something that is flashy at them. And at that point, maybe they're feeling like they've been on it so long too. Maybe they've been on it for 6 months and they're thinking, they're used to feeling the way they feel. And they're like, oh, I'm just going to drop it because it's really not that like, I don't think it's doing that much for me. I'm not really seeing results anymore. Because then you start thinking of all the things in your head that you like, or they do, maybe they start thinking about like, the fact that they haven't been working out maybe, or maybe there's other things involved, of course, but they just get in that funk where they're in a funk and they aren't doing what they know like will help them as far as workouts and eating right. So then they're just relying on Shakeology and they're not seeing the difference. So whether it's the cost, the taste, the results that they're not getting or not getting, so it's super frustrating, but again, I think it's going to be it's hard to find somebody. And like Jessica was saying the other day, she said, I think we're immune to it. And I think I am too, because you get in the business so long and you see so many excuses from people, or you see so many people spend money on stuff that you're like, well, you could afford that. Or you're like, there's a girl that I've been trying to help and she's at the tattoo parlor. And but she doesn't have the money, for Shakeology. And I've literally been helping her for like 2 to 3 months. Like, I am ready. I want to help you. She got blood work back and it's bad. Blood work's bad and wants help, needs meal plans, needs help with food prep. I'm like, me too. I need help with food prep. I mean, I really do. Like, don't we all? But it's like, so anyways, and she's at the tattoo parlor the other day and I thought, but anyhow, so you're going to have people that just don't see the value in it. And I think that is where it's our job to educate them, to show them like that it's specifically for nutrition and that it's not for true replacement where you don't eat your food, or that you don't eat your food, but you drink it. So I think if we remember to like why we started with it, hopefully that will just transpire and kind of translate to them on what like it is that, then that'll just shine through us, I think. Because I know it's frustrating and then you feel like, because here's the deal. If someone stays on Shakeology, they're going to become a coach, most likely. Not always. I have customers that will not switch. They won't get the discount because they think they're just scared of the commitment, or that there's something with it. But for the most part, the reason you don't have a lot of people on Shakeology is because they're going to sign up for the discount. So because that's what you're doing, you're going to grow your team that way. You're going to build your volume. So you lose the commission, but then you gain volume from it. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to go into that because it's not just you guys, or it's not just like, it's all of us. Like, I struggle. I'm getting like, and it's kind of neat. They send that email. Did you guys get that email that says like how many people, and it compares to last year? I love that. And honestly, I hadn't done a whole lot better than last year, but I also hadn't done worse. I was kind of about the same. I might've had, give or take, just a couple, in every aspect that they talk about. But, I just think it's important to remember that like we're all trying to get them to stay on Shakeology, and it's not just, it's not to get discouraged because they quit, because we can't, that's something we can't control. It's out of our control. They have to see the value in it. And if we've educated them and helped them mix it right and do all these things, then I think that's really all we can do. And I love the new song. I just put this in my notes because I wanted to share this, but the new song, Old Dominion, in the Sand. What's it called? Something in the Sand. Y'all know? Yep. Country music fans out there? Anyone?
No.
All right. Well, anyways, if I had it, I should have had it pulled up. But anyway, one part of the song says, "Chase after the dream, don't chase after the money." And anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because you will get what you put into this. And I think, like, I don't know. I know I'm busy. I know we're all busy. And one thing that they were saying on this training that I watched that went along with this is, she said this girl had talked about how she's actually a hygienist. She was going to nutrition, some kind of degree with nutrition. She had something else she was doing that was really time consuming. She's like, I literally had no white space on my calendar. But then she worked this business and now she's doing this full time. But it was just interesting because she was like, we're all busy. But like, I think the busier you are sometimes, the more you can fit in, because, like, just depending on your goals, I guess, but I think you just, I don't know if that's your mindset, but you just can fit the time in. So, I think we're all busy, but I know we're all busy, but, really just patience, belief, hard work, And I think we can all, like, I know we can all do so good with this. So really that's it. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say, like about the leadership ladder or anything? That's pretty, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory, obviously, with these sheets or whatever. It makes it really easy to just look at it and see, like, okay, where do I want to be? And what am I going to do each day to get there? And I like
the new coaches,
yes.
It's probably confusing, but they may not realize that, like, those titles, the business starter, team builder, and all
yes.
that, doesn't necessarily correlate with the rank.
Correct.
Because I'm Emerald, but I'm definitely not team builder right now.
True. That's correct. Yes, you're right. So, and I'm Diamond, but I'm not team leader.
Right.
So it does depend on, like, you could be an Emerald coach and you could not even be a business starter, because
right.
if you're not Hidden Success Club, and really that's it. That's the only requirement, I think, for that one. Yes. So really, yeah, that is kind of confusing. You're right. Because they didn't even used to have this leadership ladder. Like, when I started, that wasn't even a thing. It was literally your rank. That's what you focused on. I mean, it's not what you focused on, but, like, that was your next rung, was your rank. And that's what you needed to work towards. It was like Emerald and then Ruby. No one hits Ruby really, because you hit Diamond typically before you hit Ruby. And then because the idea behind the leadership ladder was that they want, instead of focusing on rank, because this business isn't about rank, because we can use Lindsay Gray as an example. Like, she's 2-star. I think she's 3 technically. And she's 6-figure earner, and, you know, she's got a big, huge team. So it doesn't even matter for rank, really, because if you build for volume, then it doesn't even matter. So just because you see, like, a 5-star diamond doesn't mean that they're necessarily, they could have sort of built theirself with their husband and whoever, and they don't have a downline, but they literally just have coaches that just hit diamond. So the reason that they implemented this, which is nice, because it shows the work that you have to put in each step, and then they kind of, like, fill in, I guess, those gaps, whereas you go from Emerald to Diamond, but there's a couple things you can do before that, and a couple, I guess, rungs you can hit. So that makes sense. My brain is just sort of foggy, but anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and record this. If you guys who are watching the recording, if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully that helps, and I will be uploading these sheets for you guys in the coach online, or in our team page. I'll upload these in the files section, and then I have copies too for you local gals who need some copies. So bye.